Not like these freeloaders that are out there that want the government to pay for everything in their lives.
Socialism, these are things that you're saying.
Hold on, buddy. You don't say anything about...
Is that we're
Hey,
trying
hold
to help
on,
out the
hold
people
on.
that need the help.
Listen to me.
45 to break. Last thought.
All right, Professor Schoenfeld, I still think you're wrong, but we're out of time. So with that, I'm going to give you the final word. No, you're still wrong, but we're going to have to leave it at that. Thank you. Now, coming up after the break, you'll recognize my next guest as the star of what some are calling one of the most vicious attack ads of this election season. He's agreed to speak to us exclusively about why he did it, and I'll push back on some inconvenient truths that must have been, well, left on the cutting room floor. That's all up next on The Final Word.
We're in commercial for the next 3:30. Karen, go prep your guest.
James, thank you so much again for agreeing to come on. I know you had to choose between us and O'Connell, and I'm really happy you decided to go with us.
Please, it was an easy choice.
You're still a little shiny on your forehead. We'll take care of that before you go on. Could you give his forehead a quick powder? It looks like he's been sweating a little.
How many people do you think are watching right now?
We don't get those figures till the following day, but the show averages about 2 million a night. But don't let that make you feel nervous. Just be yourself and you'll do fine. Oh, also make sure your cell phone's turned all the way off. It interferes with the sound otherwise. Or I can just hold on to it for you if you'd like.
I don't have a cell phone.
Perfect. We still have 1:30 left in the break. Is there anything else you'd like to ask before we get started?
Do you think I could have a copy of the segment sent to me when it's all over?
Absolutely. It's no problem at all. Okay, we're ready. Good luck.
Thanks, you too.
Welcome back to the program. Well, if you calculate fame today solely by the number of clicks you get on the internet, my next guest is probably more famous than me, if you can believe that. He's the star of a new political attack ad that's gone viral. In it, he accuses the Republican presidential candidate, Governor Doherty, of being responsible for his wife's death, which is leading some people to say that the discourse in this election has hit an all-time low, and I happen to agree with them. I have been covering presidential elections for the last 30 years, and I've seen it all. If, for some reason, you've been living under a rock, or you just don't have any time to waste on this internet nonsense, here's a quick look to get you up to speed.
Roll 408.
Everyone gathered in the conference room. We were all thanked for our work and told that as part of our severance package, we would all be kept on the company health plan for another month. My wife was suffering from stage 4 lung cancer. We both knew that once our coverage ran out, no one would want to insure her. Sure enough, no one did. Our bills started to add up. Before we knew it, we were faced with a choice. Either make the mortgage payment or pay for treatment.
Okay. That's enough. That goes on for another 2 minutes, but you get the idea. Joining me tonight is the star of that ad, James McCartney. James, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know that since this ad has come out, you've not limited your accusations to the governor. In fact, you've expanded the blame to include, well, House Republicans, talk radio, this network, and me.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a chance to explain all of that. Believe me, I want to try to understand how it is that I fit into all of this. But before we get to that, I want to start by offering you my condolences. And I know that all my viewers at home would do the same if they could. From everything you've shared with us, it sounds like your wife, Catherine, was a wonderful person. A loving wife and mother, someone who was active in her church, and as I understand it, a pretty fantastic tennis player in her day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, I know that people grieve in many different ways, and no one can possibly understand the pain of losing someone unless they've gone through it themselves. But respectfully, I think your crusade is a little misguided. My hope here tonight is that you and I can have a thoughtful, civilized discussion and hopefully come to some kind of understanding. Do you think we can do that?
I absolutely believe that we can.
Perfect. Now, first off, you imply that Governor Doherty is responsible for your wife's death. Explain that to me.
Well, Ted, as you know, Governor Doherty's company, ACR, has been bankrupting hundreds of companies over the last decade. But instead,
All right.
they'll
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there because you're skipping over a pretty important point here. Your company was in a vulnerable position before ACR came in to try to save it, which is what
Is that what they tried to do?
It's my turn to talk now, James. Now, you must admit, there was nothing anyone could do.
Maybe if another company had come in.
What if? No, James, we have to stick to reality on this program. Now, you go on to say that Governor Doherty somehow allegedly made millions of dollars off this deal, but do you have any idea how much your own CEO made?
Well, I understand that his payout was generous,
Well, there you go then. Why not be mad at him? Isn't he more directly responsible for what happened to you and your family than Governor Doherty or House Republicans or myself, for that matter? Why not go and make an ad about him?
It's more complicated than that.
No, I don't think it is, James. I think it's pretty simple. You saw this as a financial opportunity for yourself, and you took it.
No, it's not.
Oh, so you're telling me that you didn't make any money off this ad? No one paid you to be in it?
No. Look, I know what you're trying to do. This is not what it looks like.
Oh, I think it's exactly what it looks like, James. How long ago did your company go out of business?
About a year ago.
And during that time, did you make any effort at all to try to speak out and try to put your wife's story online?
No.
So, it wasn't worth telling unless someone paid you for it.
No, that's not.
How much did they pay you, James, the makers of the ad? Was it $50,000, $100,000?
Look, after the hospital bills, the live-in care, the funeral, my credit cards were maxed out. The bank was set to foreclose on us. My son and I.
Just
then
answer
out of the
the
blue,
question,
I get a call
James.
from some people who say that they would help us out. So of course.
How much did they pay you?
$120,000.
$120,000.
Yes.
So you chose to use your wife's memory for financial gain and political gain. But let's move on. Let's get to your most outlandish accusation that somehow I'm responsible to.
You are.
And how is that?
Because everyone knows that no one in the Republican Party does anything without taking their marching orders from people like you.
People like me?
Yes.
Well, I certainly wish I had that kind of power, but the fact is it's just not the truth. No, all I do is try to reflect the opinions and beliefs of the people in this country who are constantly looked down on by the mainstream media. But I'm still having trouble understanding how it is that my being on the air somehow makes me responsible for your wife's death. I wasn't part of the decision-making process that led to the closing of your company. And as much as you want to believe it, I don't have any say over how any elected official chooses to vote. That's his decision. If you don't like it, you can vote them out of office. Lucky for you, there's an election coming up in the next few months.
Start wrapping it up. Karen, great job.
Now, final point. And there's no way for me to say this without sounding insensitive, so please know that I'm saying it as respectfully as I can.
Okay.
Your wife was suffering from stage 4 cancer, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, as I understand it, the cancer at that point was too far along for the doctors to be of any help. The best they could hope for was to make her as comfortable as possible. And I know you don't like to hear this, James, but even if Congress had managed to pass the health care initiative, even if you hadn't lost your job, your wife would have succumbed to this disease eventually.
What if it was your wife?
Well, as I said before, no one can possibly understand the grieving process unless they've been through it themselves. And as much as I respect your passion, and you certainly have my sympathy, hopefully, with time and with distance, you'll come to understand that you were looking for someone to blame for the pain you're feeling inside, and that Governor Doherty and I were easy targets. So before our time here is done, I just want you to know that there are no hard feelings, and that I forgive you, James. I forgive you. And so, with that, I'm going to give you the final word.
Come on. This is dead air.
We're still alive, right?
As far as I know, yes.
Then I want to apologize for what I'm about to say and do.
As I said before, there are no hard feelings. I forgive you.
See, I think you're a dishonest person. I think, although you don't want to admit it, deep down, you know how much power you have. What you say matters. It gets repeated over and over by your audience, by the people that they vote for. So, for instance, when you tell them that anyone who performs late-term abortions is a child murderer, they listen. They believe. They act. Maybe just by voting to defund Planned Parenthood, or maybe they take matters into their own hands and blow up a clinic. It's the same thing when you tell them not to support healthcare reform because it would be a step towards socialism or tyranny.
Oh, it would be a step
And you can
towards
say
socialism,
that
James.
this is all political theater out on
talking
the
about
airwaves,
taking money from the
playing
very rich,
games with
giving it
other
to the
people's lives.
very
There are
poor.
real people suffering. My wife was one of those people! And for what? For ratings? Money? Another book deal? Maybe you don't even think about it. Because at the end of the day, what does it matter to you? You're always fine. So I decided to do something about it.
Jesus, Karen, you gotta watch them turn their cell phones off or forcibly take it away from them.
He told me he didn't have one.
Such an idiot.
James.
Yes? Perfect. I am going to give you an opportunity to change your ways.
Get ready to dump to commercial. Now!
I don't know what's
Ted,
going
unless
on
you
here,
want
folks,
your
but-
wife and son to die, you tell your director not to cut away right now.
Excuse me?
He always picks up Brandon from hockey practice Thursday nights. The Jeep had a flat this morning, so she had to drive your car, the Lexus. You had half a tank left. Sound familiar? If you ever want to see them alive again, you better listen to me.
Okay. Just take it easy.
Ted, we're getting security up here. Just sit tight. Karen, call Holly's cell phone. Make sure she's okay. Also call Brendan's school. And somebody call the police.
Hi, this is Holly Warner. I can't come to the phone right now, but please leave a message after the beep.
Holly, this is Karen. Listen, I need you to call me back as soon as you get this. It's very important.
See, I realize something. I'm just one person, one vote. But what difference is that going to make? They're all the same. They'll hold their press conferences, scold the other side, write their op-eds, but in the end, they will compromise. They'll sell us out. So, do I go after them? Maybe I'll get one of them if I'm lucky. But what would that change? I'll just be another Hinckley, another crazy person with a gun. Nobody would care why I did it. Nobody would listen. Besides, what chance does my voice have of being heard today anyway? How many followers do I have? What network am I on? It would just get lost in the chatter. How am I supposed to be heard? Do I go after you? The Ann Coulters of the world, the Glenn Becks. That might be even more difficult. You guys have more security than anyone in Washington. This, being a guest on your show, might be the only chance someone has of getting this close to you. But then what? You'll just become a martyr for your cause. And secretly, I think most of you are hoping for that. So I can't kill you. But what I can do is kill your spirit. Make life too painful for you to want to go on. Make you change. So I went after one of your only weaknesses, your family, your wife and son. The people who are holding them are watching this. If you cut away or take me off the air or any harm comes my way, they will kill them and you will never find their bodies. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. What do you want?
Karen, anything? What about Brandon's school?
They said Holly picked him up from hockey practice half an hour ago.
Has anybody checked the house?
Nothing, just voicemail.
Okay, keep trying.
I'm going to give you a choice, and you have until the end of the program to make it. Your wife and child will be spared if you state on the air that you will be retiring, effective immediately. No TV, no radio, no books. And you will tell everyone that you were wrong about everything. You do that, and no harm will come to you, I promise. But if I ever see you on TV or hear you on the radio or see that you have another book coming out, one day they will be gone and you won't have a second chance to save them. Or you can stay on the air. Keep everything you have. But you will never see your family again. It's your choice. You have 8 minutes to decide.
Ted, we're doing everything we can, I promise. Holly's not picking up, and no one's at the house. The police are on their way. Just keep him talking.
James, I understand that you're very angry and that you're very upset. I'm very sorry about that. And I don't want to see anyone get hurt here, yourself included. But I have a problem. How do I know that you even have my family? How do I know you're not just making all of this up? And even if I do go along with your great plan and retire, how do I know my family isn't already dead?
Well, I'm sure by now the control room has told you no one has been able to get hold of them. But if you want proof, guys, you want to send me a picture? He was wearing that shirt this morning when he left the house, wasn't he? So, remember what I said. That goes for you too. Aren't you the one who always says he wants to have a thoughtful, intelligent discussion?
How did you do that? How did you get my family?
Well, you were right about me taking the money from the ad. It was a business decision. But instead of paying off the mortgage, I used it all to hire some people to follow you and your family. They watched you for a few months, learned your routines, and figured out the exact right moment to strike. The last step was getting me on the air. And that's when I decided to call one of your producers back.
I don't think you've thought this one all the way through, James. You've got a big problem with your plan.
And what's that?
If the police can get to my family first, you have nothing over me.
It's a pretty big gamble, isn't it?
Yes, it would be. If it weren't for the fact that my wife is such a creature of habit, something that no doubt made the job easier for your people. But looking at the field on that photo, if I were to make a guess, I would say that that's somewhere out on Route 22, the route that my wife always takes home after she's picked up Brandon from hockey.
Well, that's true. And they may have been there a few minutes ago. But by the time anyone would get there...
Karen, tell the police to start looking out on Route 22 between Brandon's school and the house, right now.
I also don't think you realize how much harm you're doing right now. How do you think this is going to reflect on the man you're supporting for president, huh? They're probably pulling your ad right now, and they're scrambling to figure out how to put as much distance between themselves and you as possible. And what about the healthcare initiative, huh? You think anyone in Congress is going to touch that now? You think anyone in America is going to see you as some sort of a hero now that you've threatened the lives of an innocent woman and child? And one more thing, James. What about your own son? This is going to affect him for the rest of his life. How are you ever going to explain this to him?
I'll tell him something that he already knows. That his dad would sacrifice everything he had to give him a better future.
Yes. Thank you. Ted, the police are sending units out to Route 22 right now. The closest one is 15 minutes out.
Only 3 minutes left here, Ted. What's it gonna be?
I'm glad you said what you said. Because it's what I believe too. You see, all of this isn't about me. This is about something much greater than I could ever hope to be. This is about something that I believe in with all of my heart and my soul. Something that I would lay down my life for. Because what I'm fighting for is right. And it's true. And I am not alone. Those of us who believe we see ourselves as soldiers in this fight. And we too are willing to sacrifice everything in order to ensure a better future. But like you, I'm just one voice. You could silence me, that's true. But the fight would go on. So you may be asking yourself, if that's the case, why would I even hesitate? Why would I bother? It's because we have something on our side that you don't. God. He is the one who gives us strength, who gives us courage. And to betray him would be a fate worse than death, worse than the death of my family. Do I love my wife and son? Yes. Will I miss them? Yes. But I can take comfort in the knowledge that I will be reunited with them in heaven one day. So, do with them what you will. If it is part of God's plan to take them from me, that is something I'm going to have to accept.
Okay. So that's your decision then. I guess time's up.
We're clear!
Where are they?
I thought God was gonna see you.
You don't think I actually believe all that crap, do you? Look around here, huh? You see? This isn't real. This is entertainment.
Don't they believe?
No, my family.
Them.
What, the audience? Fuck them. I don't give a shit what they think. Now you better start talking, because if something happened to my family, I swear to God, I'm gonna... What?
I won.
You think you won? You really are a dumb son of a bitch. You know that. No, you have given me everything. All the sympathy in the world. And I'm gonna play that card, James. I'm gonna play it for everything it's worth. Maybe all the way to the top.
No, you don't understand. Winning is seeing you suffer, if only just for a moment.
Get him the hell out of here! We'll see how tough you are when the police get a hold of you. I have a lot of friends on the force. They owe me a lot of favors. Shit!
I got down here as soon as I could.
Where is my family? Why hasn't anyone found them yet?
The police are doing everything they
Find them and bring them here right now. Right now! And you, I'm holding you personally responsible for bringing him in here. Don't you people do any kind of background checks before
You didn't get James McCartney, no
Forget
matter
about what I said!
Hello? Holly! Thank God!
Where the hell are you?
Well, hello to you too, honey.
Now, are you and Brandon okay? What's going on?
We had quite the adventure today. The lugs on the back tire fell off as we were driving back home, and of course, there was no cell phone reception on 22. But luckily, there was a nice couple behind us who were able to help us out.
The couple. What did the couple look like?
I don't know. What does that matter?
Just shut up for a minute and tell me if you got their number. Did you get a license plate? Anything at all?
What is your problem? No, look, if you want to get the guy a gift or something, don't bother. I tried giving him a 50, but he said they were just big fans of yours and happy to help out. Tough day today? Oh, that's right. You had that big guest on today. I was hoping to get home in time to see it, but with the tires and all.
So, you didn't listen to it yet?
No, I should have listened to it on the radio while the guy was fixing the tire, but I didn't even think.
It went fine. There's something that we need to talk about.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't
Do me a
that
favor.
bad.
No,
I
wait,
put the
just-
DVR and I'll watch
wait,
it
wait a
as soon as I
second.
get back. Oh, someone wants to say hi. Hey, Dad.
Brendan, listen to me. Tell your mom not...
Tell you all about it when I get home. Here's Mom.
Holly,
Oh,
listen
I'm
to
getting
me.
another call.
Don't...
Well,
Holly?
I'll see you when I get home.
Holly?
Love you, sweetie.
Holly? Holly?
I don't think I actually believe all that crap, do you? The audience? Fuck them. I don't give a shit what they think. You have given me everything. All the sympathy in the world. And I'm gonna play that card for everything it's worth.
Ted!
You play your cards, we'll play ours.
Are you okay?